But look, okay, let me do a little quick review of the book. You've got to get this book. You really, this is a fantastic book. And it's not just a memoir. It is the reconstruction of an identity where she transformed from the conservative preacher's daughter, preacher and a maid, into this firebrand. And she chronicles this crucible that we can't even imagine, because Simeon Booker could imagine, but we find it hard to imagine. She's 23 years old when she goes to the post in 1961. 23, that's about like most sophomores in college. 24. Yeah, she wants to age that. 24. And what year were you down in Mississippi covering the civil rights stuff?
The next year.
The next year. And she's covering Medgar Evers and James Meredith. It is a fantastic story. And then she comes to the style section. Now, let me be brief. It's so good the way she tells it. At the style section, it's Jackie Trescott. Is Jackie still here? Yes. Jackie and Holly and I guess DeWitt came a little later, and Joel. But they transformed they transformed Ben and Sally's baby into a black woman. the stories that they wrote. Ben Bradley was running around in the newsroom talking about they're turning the style section into an ebony. There's never been anything like it since they stopped doing that. And then there's the Journal-isms Institute, there's the NABJ, there's the Young Journalist Development. It's all about giving back, but at the same time maintaining that voice. It is a phenomenal book by a phenomenal person. I've known Dorothy since 1975, but I only met her after reading this book. It is, you think you know her. Let me start with the crucible, about what it was like coming into the Post newsroom in 1961. Going to work at a place where the white reporters or colleagues would not even talk to her outside because they didn't want people to know who she was. They didn't want people to know that they knew her. Couldn't get a cab. Would go to interview people, and the black doorman would not believe she was a Washington Post. She has a maid go around back. And yet, she continues to do all of these things. Talk about the humiliation, talk about the panic attacks, and overcome, fights it all back to become, the Dorothy Gilliam. So the question is, how, being the first black woman at the Washington Post, do you do something that generally requires not just one mentor, but a lot of mentors over the years? How did you do that?
First of all, thank you, Courtland, for coming, and I will pay you for what you said. No, seriously. No, seriously, thank you so much. My apprenticeship, I had 4 years of apprenticeship in the black press, and that made such a difference. Yeah. My first job was at the Louisville Defender when I was actually a freshman at Ursuline College and in Louisville, and I was hired as a secretary. One day the editor, Mr. Stanley, came over and said, the society editor is ill, so we're going to send you out to cover a story. And I had no idea that I had what it took to cover a story. And I probably didn't, but I went out and put something together and it got in the paper. And so he continued to have me start writing stories. But I wanted to really be a journalist. So then I was able to go to Lincoln University in Jefferson City, Missouri, and get prepared. But I think what you are asking in terms of coming to the Washington Post in 1961 and dealing with all that, what propelled me forward?
Then he worked for the black press too, but he went back to the black press.
Right.
But he was 10 years earlier, so.
That's right.
But you didn't go back. You didn't want to go back.
No. But I think what happened was I went to the Post in 1961. I left the Post in about 1966 because I got married and I was having children. It was before the women's movement. There was no flex time. I remember once when I had my first daughter, I went back to the editor and I said, can I possibly just work 4 days a week? I said, I'll come at 7 a.m. and I'll work till 8 p.m. And he said, we can't let you do that, But finally, I could always plead for other people. It was hard for me to plead for myself. But finally, he said, okay, we're going to give you a chance. And after a few weeks, he said, you are lowering the morale in the newsroom because there are men here who want to write the great American novel. So if we let you work 4 days a week, we'll have to let everybody who wants to work 4 days a week. So my life was changed by, 3 revolutions: the civil rights movement, and the civil rights movement and the Black Power. It was also changed by the women's movement. But I think what really gave me, there's something within, that's something within, I really think it came out of, growing up, black in the South. It was a time when, my father was a minister, and I'm not saying that made me that different, but I think we were brought up with a lot of, I think we saw a lot of black love. We saw a lot of black support for each other. We saw I think that even though the greatest society was telling us that white was superior and black was inferior, we knew better.
You write something very interesting in the book about we all have that little doubt in our heads. You don't have to be the first. You can be in the 100 and still have that little doubt. Because you mentioned one of your professors at school had been mentored by Carter G. Woodson, the miseducation of Negro, and it caused you to reflect on how much confidence we have. It was something that you really dove into and became the firebrand that you did. You have to read the book. It is laid out. It's very subtle in places, but this construction of the identity because you grew up in the South, in the 50s, the 40s, and you try to figure out how you're going to survive and things. So you wrote about changing your mind. At one point you would say, I do not want to be just considered a black reporter, just to write about other things. But you came and changed your mind about that.
I think there was a certain naivete when I first, after I finished Columbia. It was certainly we were taught that you had to tell both sides of the story, and all of the training that we all had as to be journalists.
Brainwashing.
But there's a sense that we want to make a difference. We aren't here just to write about what's going on down the street or what's going on around the corner. The more I learned about the plight of black Americans, particularly in Washington, when I came in 1961, the black population was about a little over 54%. But in the newsroom, there were only 3 black people, Wallace Terry, Dorothy Gilliam, and Luther Jackson. I think what disturbs me at this moment is that there is still so little diversity in the media. You know, this I think is, you know, when you think about what we were able to do because of the diversity, there were things I couldn't have done if Jackie Trescott had not been in the newsroom helping me. There was somebody I could talk to her about things. She could come back and encourage me, and I could encourage her. But what is happening today is that with all the so-called change in the nation, the diversity, the racial diversity is falling, which means that the stories of African Americans, these stories are not being told. And, you know, that's still a very serious problem.
Yeah, what stands out in the book is that this does not happen by magic. You know, black people just don't appear out of some natural, you know, order of things. People have to work. People have to sacrifice. I mean, you put in a lot of work. You just reminded me of something. Yeah. No, you put in a whole lot of work with the, I'm not going to say that one. Well, yes, I will. You said that you said that one of the people who had one of the great influences, and I thought you were talking about me, on your life, you know, you saw him one day, he was so cool in the newsroom, and I said, yes, I turned the page, and he said his name was Bob Maynard. I ended up in the Janet Cook section. But see, it was you Trescott, but there were people like Maynard, people like you. There was a synergy to develop, but it wasn't just everybody just being there. You know, people recognized exactly what you're recognizing now, that there's a lack of diversity. And what was the saying when you heard, we can't find any qualified? We said, well, we're going to start the Institute for Journalism Excellence.
Right, because we knew that was a lie.
Right.
We knew there were people who were qualified. And we knew that when they said we can't find any qualified, it was because we lived in a country where whites were superior and blacks were inferior. And so we had to fight our way through to show that wasn't so. That was not so. And so we came up with this program and called the Institute for Journalism Education. Got funding from multiple sources, and there are a couple of things that happened that helped us. One was the civil rights movement. You know, that showed all of us that if women could work as maids all day in Alabama and in what was the first bus for? And still, walk home at night, just so that they could have their freedom, just so they could show that they had their humanity, their dignity was worth more than just riding on the back of a bus. I think that inspired all of us to say, if they can do that, we can do more.
Your mother was a domestic.
Yeah.
And you said that you got that spirit from her, that exactly what you're talking about. It was a personal thing, and many of us have. We look into our backgrounds, and there are people like that. So yeah, and the preacher dad who prompted you through some early childhood indoctrination to write that column about Marvin Gaye's sexual healing. Yeah, she slammed him. Porno man, you called it.
Slammed him, and I tell you, people talked about me like a dog. I have never, black people usually kind of pretty decent to me, but when I told, I was thinking about just all those young people who were getting pregnant, who were having children out of wedlock, I knew how many children had been born, that year to unwed mothers. And so I was thinking about that. But I think that, if people really paid attention, didn't they?
The other column, and you've done so many things, I just bounced around. The other column was about Janet Cook that really struck a nerve because it was strong. And one of the things you did not like to do, you did not like to harp on pathology in your writings. I mean, you would write about social issues, you write about poverty, but you also wrote, stories of uplift, inspiration, just regular kind of people. So when Janet Cook wrote Jimmy's World, and the celebration that it received, even before they knew that it was a fake story, but you were like, oh, why are people going all crazy over this? And nobody's trying to help him. They're just reveling in the, how low can you go, black people? And when it was revealed to be a hoax, you laid in on it. And
I guess I had started working with Maynard and all of these other people trying to bring more black people into the media. And I just knew that was going to be the excuse that white editors were going to use to say, we can't trust them.
We
tried.
We knew that.
Yep.
We heard all about that.
Yeah. We can't. Yeah. And so my feeling was that it was going to hurt the cause, the larger cause, and I'm afraid that it did. But it, what can we say? Janet Cook is Janet Cook, and she's never recovered. And I wish her the best, but not as a journalist.
What did you say about her in your column?
Well, I started the column off by saying,
You ready for questions? Yeah. Go right there.
I said, Janet Cook was a journalist who, blah, 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 who happened to be black. You know how they always say, you don't, I didn't want to, I wanted to isolate her from the larger black population, the larger population of black journalists, because that's not what black journalists did. And so the phrase I remember about the column was, she happens to be black, which is kind of, for black people, it was like, oh.
You tried to help her when she first came, but she wasn't really that interested in hearing wisdom from the sister. She had her eye on other people.
Okay, I think we have time for a couple of questions.
No, we just have one.
Anybody else have any questions for Dorothy? Okay. Bonnie,
We can't hear you.
oh wait, I think.
I was a direct recipient of Dorothy's outreach when she spoke at the program with Bob Maynard. I was a grad student at the University of Michigan and drove down to the NABJ convention that was taking place in D.C. 5 years after NABJ started. Dorothy looked at my clips. She was very encouraging. And from there, things just took off. So I am eternally grateful. Thank you.
Did you really pilfer money from your preacher dad? To buy candy? See, that's a Dorothy I did not know. I'll tell you, it's all there. It is all there. Yeah.
That's part of another journey. But I think that it's almost providential that this book is coming out now. At a time when, we have, people at the White House calling the Washington Post the enemy of the people. At a time when people are talking about, fake news and all of the, I don't have to elaborate for this part, but, it's a story of a life in journalism. And there's so many of you have stories of your lives in journalism. We had challenges, we had successes, but, we made a difference. And I think that what we need to do now is to continue to make a difference, because what Mignon and the others were saying about politics just before Courtland and I came on was how people needed to get involved. But one way they needed to get involved was hearing, having the media cover their communities. We know media has changed. This is 21st century journalism now. But there were stories that were being written about what was going on that kept people engaged. So it wasn't just when there was an election, but we were covering stories about what they meant, what the Black Caucus did and didn't do. What was happening in schools and classrooms, what was really happening with so-called gentrification. So I think I can't stress enough the importance of the diversifying the media, having representation from all communities in media, that we still need that. We must still press for that. We must still pressure for that, because it can mean the difference, really, between life and death.
All right, one final question, anybody? No? Oh, I'm Ron, sorry, go ahead.
I don't really have a question. I just want to say thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because I came into journalism in '75. But you and your generation, and I'm just right behind you, you set the tone for what all of us did. We didn't get into journalism just to write and just to cover crime, but we did what you said do, which is to illuminate that there was this world called African American community and all its wonders and forms. And that was our job. And I want to thank you and Maynard and everybody else. I really, really thank you so much for what you did.
Let's give Courtland and Dorothy